Hello and welcome to this reading. Today we are going to get a goddess message. So this is going to be, we're going to find out what goddess is with you and what is the message from that goddess. How is this goddess helping you? So let's find out. For the collective, what goddess is with you and what goddess is helping you? Seems to be Sedna. Looks like, to me, I'm seeing a lot of water here. I will read the actual book on that, the definition, the meaning in the book, but right off the bat, to me, I'm seeing it as water, which would be emotion. Let's grab, you know what, I'll read it first. We'll just read that first. Sedna says, you are acknowledged in your despair and pain and are reminded that even though it may not feel authentic, a new dawn will break in time. Sea goddess Sedna is a central figure in Inuit mythology, known as the mother of all marine life. Unhappy with her suitors, Sedna eventually fell for a man who turned out to be a seabird merely masquerading as a man. She left to live with him. After visiting and seeing her living in miserable squalor, her father kills the birdman. As they traveled home in a boat, a flock of birds attacked to avenge the birdman, thus creating giant waves. Sedna's father sacrificed her in an attempt to appease the sea. Oh my goodness. Yikes. So Sedna became the mother of the sea. So the message is, when you are drowning in a deep ocean of despair, it can feel as if you will never be able to break the surface and take a deep breath of air. When you feel your resolve leaving and struggle to stay afloat, reach out your hand for support. You do not have to go through this alone. Find professionals or loved ones who can hold space to help you break through the surface. When you are below the surface, it is difficult to remember that anything above the surface exists. Yet it does. In the dark night of the soul, you have reached the core of your healing. You have journeyed through the layers, keeping you from those gnarly parts of your subconscious and innermost parts of your psyche. The dark night of the soul indicates a breaking down of parts of you that are leaving. It feels like a death because it is one. In the darkness, before the dawn, in the darkest moments, it is the hardest to grasp a sense of the light. During the dark night of the soul, productivity is not the top priority, and it will make you feel worse to try and smash huge goals and find them unachievable. Be gentle with yourself. If you need lots of rest and comfort, the comfort zone can be a place of healing. Write a list of 10 things that bring you small joys to refer to during this time. Examples include drinking tea from your favorite mug, reading or watching your favorite movie. Find small ways to come to life, such as sitting in the sun, doing yoga, taking a slow walk through nature, conducting your spiritual practice, eating a nourishing meal, or consulting with your oracle cards. In time, you will emerge from this darkness lighter and at peace. That's beautiful. I feel that this message resonates with so much of the world right now. I'm going to see what else we need to know about this message, if we can get some more information. I'm just going to pull some tarot. Tell us more about this message. So it's all about self-care, taking a step back and knowing that what I'm kind of seeing is like a scale. Everything will come back into balance. Oh, that was too many. This one. That one. What else? So, let's see what was on the bottom. Yeah, look at that. So this is all about celebration, friendship, collaboration, creativity, community, and happiness. This is like your tribe. And it's 3, so it's people coming together. Finding people that support you. So that's going to be really important right now. And that's the the energy underneath this. It's like the energy underneath this reading. This is kind of like hidden energy. And I feel like that camaraderie, friendship, and celebration is coming to you. And it might not feel like it, but it is. So we have, here's a new beginning. We've got an Ace of Swords. Look at that. And then we have a Two of Wands. Wow. Okay. So, wow. There is a lot of stability here. This is so interesting. Look, we've got 2 4s. We've got Four of Wands and the Emperor, which is a 4. The Moon, again, it's interesting that we have the Emperor and the Moon together, because the Emperor is kind of like that masculine energy, and the Moon is definitely feminine energy. At the beginning, we have the Ace of Swords, and then we have the Two of Wands. So it's like new information is coming through to you. See, this says mental clarity, breakthroughs, new ideas, success, sharp mind. So you've got new things coming through mentally, new ideas, breakthroughs, truth coming through. And you're going to be breaking out of the feeling that this card really feels to me. For instance, she just looks like she's underwater, and this card talks about wanting to break through the surface and having a hard time remembering that there are things above that surface, like just being so engulfed that our awareness is only acknowledging what's underneath there, kind of in that depth of the emotion. And the watery, water is intuitive, again, feminine. So this is like, and the way her arms are back like that, she's definitely not resisting, and she is facing up. So she's going toward the surface and toward the light, because the light is at the surface. So whatever it is that's happening to you, you are going to be breaking through that surface, and you're going to feel relief. You're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. In the very middle here, we have the Four of Wands, celebration, joy, harmony, home, community, homecoming, beautiful energy. Again, 4s are a lot of stability. So if you're feeling unstable at all with all this emotional stuff, stability is quickly on its way to you. This one, again, the Emperor, number 4, more stability. 4 is a number of stability. Respect, leaderships, well, and it says stability right there. Structure, rules, power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, practicality, and focus. Well, that's just kind of like what an emperor would do to run his kingdom. Those are common things that he would be doing. That he would embody those types of qualities. So let me look here. I'm just drawn to ask a question. What is going to be changing? What is, with this new beginning here and the new stability coming in, what are you walking away from? What are they going to be walking away from? What is the collective going to be releasing and walking away from that will help this new beginning to start? What is that? We've got, so this one is masculine pride, toxic masculinity, meeting manly expectations. Okay, that makes sense. And what else are they walking away from? Interesting. This is very much about irrational behavior. Okay, so you're going to be walking away from drama. There is a masculine, whoops, didn't mean to do that. There's a masculine energy here. It talks about toxic masculinity, and it's so interesting because I was talking about how these are feminine. These are more receptive. The moon and this Sedna energy is more of a receptive type of energy, and this is toxic masculinity here. So if you have felt driven or pushed, or that you're pushing yourself, or that you're worn out, you know, this is you choosing a different direction and being relieved of that pressure of that kind of over masculine energy. Whether you're a man or woman, this is just energy we're talking about. Anyone can be a workaholic or something like that. And it's interesting because this is talking about addictions. It says addictions right here. Self-medicating addictions, irrational behavior, numbing. So you could be, numbing yourself to get through the day. You could be overworking. That's an addiction. People have work addictions. It could be negative self-talk. That can be a cycle, which translates the same through the cards as addiction. It's a cycle that you're repeating that you can't seem to get out of. It could be, like I said, just that negative inner voice of telling yourself to stay small. It could be coming from the outside, negativity telling you to stay small. There's so many things that it could be. Relationships, maybe a work situation for some of you. I'm kind of getting that there's some toxicity at work. And especially here, it says spilling the beans, revealing secrets, cats out of the bag, untrustworthy. So this is what you're leaving behind, okay? These cards here are what you are leaving behind. So interesting that it said untrustworthy, because these people, whoops, I grabbed it upside down. These people are trustworthy. This is your tribe. Oh, and look what it says on the reverse, because this came out upright. Oh, and look at that. Two of Cups is right under that. This says gossip. So see, that's the other side. That's the reverse of this, but you got it upright. This is what's coming towards you. So you're walking away from gossip, untrustworthiness, and just feeling like you have to numb yourself to get through the day because you feel like you're under this depth of emotion here. So that's leaving. That is leaving, and you are going to be going into a brand new cycle of stability and truth, and a lot of empowerment here. This moon tells me that you are going to also, there's a lot of things here that are, I just heard surprises, but they're good surprises. They're not bad surprises. Let me grab some clarifiers on the moon there. Let's clarify the moon. See, the moon is more, well, that just flew out. And another Ace of Swords. Look at that. It's another Ace of Swords. How interesting. And that's clarity, where the moon is sort of like things that are hard to see, things that aren't as light, as bright. Like when you walk in the sunshine, it's bright. When you walk, even if it's a full moon and you're walking at night, there's shadows. There's things that make it a little bit harder to find your way. So you have to be a lot more intuitive. You have to be a lot more trusting of your path and really listening to your soul to lead you when you're traveling by the light of the moon. And that tells me that you are a very intuitive person and that you are reaching for that spiritual guidance. So it's kind of like all this beautiful new cycle has all this empowerment, the Emperor energy, but also the moon energy. So you know that your truth comes from within. You know that your truth, it cannot be told to you by those outside of you. It only comes from within you. And that's what this is saying to me right now. What else can we know about the moon? Whoops. What can we know about the moon? Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Wow. One more. Wow. Okay. There's our third one. You've got to be kidding me. All right, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. Okay. Ace of Swords. You saw those jump out of that little deck. Ace of Swords, Page of Swords, King of Swords. So, for those of you familiar with the tarot, you will see the progression here. The Ace of Swords is the first card in the suit of swords. Then you go from 1 to 10. Then you start the court cards, which begin with a page. So this skipped all the number cards and went straight to the page. Then you have page, knight, queen, king. Went from the page, skipped straight to the king. You just went through the entire suit of swords. Swords are mental faculties, truth, being able to, well, intuition. Swords have to do with like the heavens and the mind and consciousness and intelligence and logic. And the king is very mature in those areas. He's very wise, discerning. He'll easily cut away what does not serve him. So this is so interesting because it's clarifying the moon, which is known to be a card of maybe not seeing everything clearly. So I just find that so interesting. You guys, wow, you are a quite unique bunch that is getting this reading. You are, wow. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm trying to put words to this. You are fully in your intuition, but you're also extremely intelligent. You're not somebody that is going to get pulled down some wacky path because you're not grounded enough to see what's real and what's not. So very interesting. So what I feel is that you're going to have a lot of understanding, and especially with this another Ace of Swords here, there's just a ton of knowledge that you're going to be getting. So if you have questions about why things are happening, you're going to understand like the big picture. This card is about feeling kind of like stuck under the surface, and the rest of this is you're going to understand what was going on and the reason behind all of this. It's going to make sense, and you're going to feel like it's resolved, like there's resolution. Let me grab a final message. I feel like this is pretty complete. So what is the final message for this reading? Oh, that just flew out. White buffalo. Wow. All right, I'm going to draw one here. Okay, this one. This one is Spirit of Fire. Okay. So white buffalo, that is a legend. It says, abundance and security are flowing into your life. All things are possible. Balance and harmony will prevail. You may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spiritual realm. This is about the white buffalo, coming of the white buffalo, especially in the Lakota, Dakota, and the Sioux. There's a legend that White Buffalo Calf Woman, a mystical being, came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance. She gifted the people with a sacred bundle containing the White Buffalo Calf pipe to help restore the balance. Upon leaving, the White Buffalo Calf Woman prophesies she will return at the end of an age and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf. In recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading many to believe this is the beginning of a new time. When this card chooses you, it's an honor, for it speaks of a time of miracles and balance in all things. You are a channel for the greater forces of the universe. With their help, all is possible, but without it, things can be a struggle. Surrender to support from the Great Spirit. You do not have to do everything alone. So, let me grab Spirit of Fire here. Oops. Okay, Spirit of Fire is about transformation. Take risks, face your fears, break out of old patterns. Okay, so interesting. I'm just going to stop right there for a second because this is talking about breaking out of patterns. This is talking about breaking up through the surface of the water, of getting out from wherever you've been held back. This is talking about breakthroughs, all these swords, knowledge, breakthroughs. I mean, all of these swords, that is a very, very strong theme with all the swords. A new beginning. Again, we have this card, going straight into an ace and beginning over again. And this talks about new beginnings, the white buffalo, and this talks about new beginnings. So this is all confirming the same thing, that you are going through a time of breaking out of old patterns, conventions. You're up leveling, you're leveling up, and you're leaving a cycle behind you that has been repeated, that has kept you feeling restricted. And so you're going into a time of understanding, of learning, of like integrating all the lessons that you were meant to integrate so that you can walk away from this pattern. This is a big deal. It says, face your fears. The Thunderbird is rising in you out of the ashes. And out of the ashes come new growth and new beginnings. Fire has the power of renewal. Think of the phoenix that burns and becomes ashes and then is renewed out of those ashes. So this is all symbolic of you turning a page in your life, leaving behind some things that have been weighing you down. And we saw a few of them here: the masculine, over masculinized energy, the toxic masculinity, the numbing, self-medicating, addictions, irrational behavior, and then this one, revealing secrets, cats out of the bag, untrustworthy. So these types of energies are what you're leaving behind, and this is going to affect your life in a huge way. It's going to transform your life. So I'm hoping that this helps you and that it resonated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.